what can you tell us about, the album comes out in 2 months, and you've released the second song today. What can you, I know the rollout's been cryptic with the hints, like Field of Dreams. I saw something on Twitter today. The clue is at the actual Field of Dreams in Iowa. Is that something that you guys come together and hash out ideas? Is it Andy? Is it your ideas to really get these really cool, clever clues?
I find out when you do so.
Okay. So what can you tell us without telling us anything? Or I'll give you. I like in the Love from the Other Side video when Grandpa Pete is pulling out the book from the bookshelf, and you see the other books on the shelf, and you see the titles. If you look closely, they're like references to books and bands.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that we always will make like some subtle, like, if it looks too much like a clue, it's probably not actually a clue.
Okay.
So like, there's just head nods to bands.
Like Catch 182.
Yeah, those are just like honestly.
Good Charlotte's Web. I saw there.
They're just friends or
It's
whatever.
fun.
But as far as the album, I don't know. I would say, what could we say about the album? So like to me, okay, I'll say something about the album. Is that it's like we have this face, this smiley, frowny kind of face, and the album itself kind of has two sides to it. Like there's this side, that's this speech that that Ethan Hawke gives in Reality Bites, where he talks about, he never knew his dad, and then while his dad was dying, he gives him this pink seashell, and it's got all the answers, and he's like, well, I guess there are no answers, and it's kind of like this nihilism, right? Like it's like the nothing matters, so I'll just do whatever, and so that's one side of the record. But I think we thought that you've heard that before, or we've seen that kind of art before. So we also the other side of it is kind of more the Field of Dreams, and that's where Kevin Costner. And these are two movies you should watch, even if you don't like sports or don't like the '90s. They're both great. In that movie, he lives on a farm in Iowa, and he just talks about how his dad, like, he never got to know him before he was old, and his dad never did anything crazy. So he just does one kind of crazy thing where he builds this field. And that's the whole thing of like breaking out of that nihilism, is like you have to do something crazy. You got to do something, like you got to just go for it. You know what I mean? Like you have to just do it.
Right. Especially if it's in your heart, because
Totally.
you get one turn at life.
Totally.
And when you're sitting at the end of your life, you're going to look back and go, "Oh, I should have done."
And it's short and it's long. You know what I mean? It's both.
And I kind of just wanted to add too, because you were talking about there's this groundswell of renewed appreciation for a lot of the stuff that happened, and the early 2000s or whatever musically. I didn't know that. I didn't know that when I started writing the record. So it's definitely not. It's definitely more related. Like I wanted to make sure that it's a record that, we're still the band that made Mania 5 years ago. We're still that band. But I wanted to make something in a very different way. Like I wanted to take our time. So it's funny because you look at it and there's a 5-year gap, but we were working on the record for a lot of it, a lot more than we worked on other records. So I'd say more than anything, I can't wait for people to hear it because we savored it for so long. Like I really put a lot into it. So. And
how has your film scoring and TV scoring work? Does that translate into the new album somehow? There's some influences?
Yeah, definitely. It was really different because this time around, I didn't have to I was always relying on somebody else's expertise. I would hum a thing and be like, I don't know, and then maybe the strings could do like this. And this time I was able to, I was writing out. There's a decent amount of strings and horns and orchestration and stuff across the record. I mean, there's a little bit on Love from the Other Side you can hear, but
we rented the ArcLight in Los Angeles, and we just played E.T. continuously for 1,000 days in silence, and he just wrote the record to that. So it's, I don't know, it's pretty good.
I like that visual. Is that the next clue? Is that the next clue? Is that the next seashell clue?
I'm trying to follow right now.
Yeah.
I'm very lost, I'll be honest.
Well, the video that you released today with Rivers, if you haven't seen it yet, no spoilers, it starts at Pink's, which is right a couple blocks from that.
It is.
Location,
It was convenient for Patrick.
Yeah, because apparently I was living at the ArcLight watching E.T. So.
And another no spoilers. You own stunts? You own stunts?
I don't know if that was a joke. I didn't do all of my stunts. I don't know about these guys.
I can't remember.
Right.
I was kind of.
Patrick. Less is more, Patrick. Less is more.
Well, I did a stunt that.
What you're saying and not saying.
You did a stunt.
There's a stunt that got cut, and I was kind of bummed.
All All right. Get online and watch
He's like
it.
Tom Cruise, does his own stunts, baby.
There you go.
I'm also very short.
Yeah.
Brian and Justin in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.